The meeting will come to order. Before we begin, we'd like to start with the Pledge of Allegiance led by Lieutenant Randall. If you could all stand, please.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much, folks. The following matters will come before the Revere License Commission at our regularly scheduled meeting today. This meeting has been previously filed with the city clerk. The first item on the agenda will be the approval of minutes of December 18th, 2024.
I'd move to approve.
You want to approve them?
I'd move to approve.
I'll second that.
Very good. The minutes are approved. The next item on the agenda is the Revere Beach Partnership, Revere Beach Plaza. Haley Rosenblatt is the event manager. This is an application for a one-day mobile food vendor license. The application to Revere Beach Partnership, 150 Beach Street, Revere, for a one-day mobile food vendor license to be exercised at the Revere Beach Plaza at the foot of the Marquee Pedestrian Bridge on Saturday, February 8th, from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. This is for Revere Beach Winter Wonderland event. The expected attendance is 5,000. Your name and address for the record, please. Can you press the button and turn on the microphone?
Hallie Rosenblatt.
Thank you very much. Can you explain briefly what you'd like to do with this license?
We would like to bring in food vendors for the second annual Winter Wonderland.
Okay. Do any of my fellow commissioners have any questions?
I don't.
Has there been any change from the first annual Winter Wonderland, or is this basically the same thing you did last year?
It's the same thing that we did last year.
Very good. I don't have any questions. Do you want to discuss this further?
No discussion.
Any questions or discussion?
How many people did you get last year approximately?
We had approximately 5,000 attendees.
Very good. Would someone like to make a motion, or do you want?
to approve.
I'll second that.
Very good. The application for a one-day mobile food vendor license for the Revere Beach Partnership is approved. That license will be exercised at the Revere Beach Plaza at the foot of Marquee Pedestrian Bridge on Saturday, February 8th, 2025, from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. for the Revere Beach Winter Wonderland. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Good luck with your event.
Thank you.
Item number 2, Revere Restaurant Group, Inc., DBA Tio Juan Margaritas Mexican Restaurant, 85 American Legion Highway. Susan Marie Jimenez is the manager. This is an application for a change of manager from Sean M. Casey to Susan Marie Jimenez. Is there someone here from Revere Restaurant Group? Your name and address for the record, please.
Susan Jimenez and 85 American Legion Way.
Very good. Is there going to be any changes to the restaurant, or are you just going
Just
to be the new manager?
Yep.
Well, good luck.
Thanks.
Any questions from my fellow commissioners?
Do you have prior experience?
Yes.
I have no questions.
Very good. We'll close this section of the hearing. Thank you. Are there any proponents? Anybody like to speak on behalf of the Revere Restaurant Group? I don't see or hear anybody. We'll close that section. Anybody opposed? Anybody opposed to the change of manager? We don't see or hear anybody. We'll close that section.
I get it there a couple of days ago at my house. They're gonna put a restaurant on Broadway. I don't know if right in the right time that.
Is this the same company?
No, sorry, this is item number 5.
Item number
You gotta
5.
wait till we get to 5.
Okay, so we'll get to you. Thank you. Is there anybody opposed to the Revere Restaurant Group change of manager? We don't see or hear anybody, we'll close that section. Would you like to discuss this more, or would you like to make a motion?
I can make a motion to approve.
I'd second their motion.
Very good, the motion is approved for the change of manager at Tio Juan Margarita's Mexican Restaurant. The change from Sean M. Casey to Susan Marie Jimenez. Thank you very much. Item number 3, Capri LLC, DBA Capri, 1559 North Shore Road. Claudia Gallego is the manager. Excuse me. This is an application to amend the entertainment license. The application of Capri to amend the entertainment license to allow DJ until 1 a.m. The current entertainment license is widescreen cable TV, radio, amplifier, and DJ, only allowed on Saturdays and Sundays from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Your name and address for the record, please.
Claudia Gallego, 1559 North Shore Road, Revere.
Very good. Can you explain briefly what you'd like to do with the amending of this entertainment license?
Sí, es que en estos momentos se está poniendo muy suave, entonces los mismos clientes me dicen que si tengo otra forma de entretenimiento puede ser mejor, entonces quería saber si tengo esta oportunidad.
What she's saying is that at this moment, her business is kind of slow down, so her customers is asking for more entertainment.
Very good.
Oh, I'm so sorry. So what she's saying is that. Sorry. So what she's saying is that her business is kind of slow down, so her customers is asking for more entertainment. She did went over with me that the DJ is requesting for 12 midnight, no 1 a.m.
Not 1 a.m., 12
1 a.m.
midnight, okay, well, that'll,
12 a.m. And it will be Thursdays, Fridays, Saturday, and Sunday. At this moment, it's only Saturday and Sunday until 6 p.m.
okay, so what you'd like to do is go Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, starting at what time?
Empezando a qué horas?
Yo lo tengo viernes, sábado y domingo a las 10. Si se puede desde esa hora o 12 del día, estaría bien.
She's saying that at this moment it's 10 a.m., but if she can continue with the 10 a.m. or 12 p.m.
Okay, so you want to go from 10 a.m. to midnight, is that what you're looking to
le
do?
gustaría, yeah. Yes,
Any of my fellow commissioners have any questions?
10 a 12.
So no records, no police records after that incident, right?
No, since the incident we had over the summer where they were open beyond their hours, other than that, there haven't been any other.
I do know that there's been some complaints in the past. This is a highly residential area, if you want to.
Usted está sabida que como es una área residencial, a veces los residentes pueden poner quejas.
So my concern here is the hours on Sunday, having a DJ till 12 a.m. What time do you typically close on Sundays?
At 1 a.m.
1 a.m.
1 a.m.
Do you typically stay open until 1 a.m. on Sundays?
So regularmente usted está abierta hasta la 1 de la mañana los domingos? Yeah.
Have you received personally any complaints from your neighbors about
¿Ha
any issues on
recibido alguna
Sundays?
queja de los residentes, clientes? No. Él está preocupado porque es un área residencial, especialmente los domingos.
That's all I have.
Very good. Okay, thank you very much. We'll close this section of the hearing. Any proponents? Anybody else like to speak on behalf of Capri? Don't see or hear anybody, we'll close that section. Anybody opposed? Anybody opposed to the issuing of this amended entertainment license? Don't see or hear anybody, we'll close that section. Well, it is a residential area. However, no one's opposing it. What are you feeling? You think, you want to make a motion on this?
I'm okay with it.
I'm okay with it. Yeah, like you said, no one's opposing it, so. It's,
Very good. All right, well then, you want to make a motion?
I can make a motion to approve.
Second motion.
Very good. The motion to amend the entertainment license for Capri is approved. The license will be Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday from 10 a.m. to 12 a.m. And that license is approved. Good luck.
Good luck.
Item number 4, Lumina Lounge LLC, DBA Lumina Lounge, 63 Revere Beach Boulevard. Omar Presado, I'm sorry if I mispronounced your name. This is an application for a transfer of an all-alcohol restaurant license. The application of Lumina Lounge will be exercised at 63 Revere Beach Boulevard. The requested hours are Sunday, 11 a.m. to 2 a.m., Monday through Saturday, 8 a.m. to 2 a.m. Requested seating is 120. The requested entertainment is widescreen, cable TV, radio, DJ, jukebox, amplifiers, karaoke, vocal, instrumental music, dancing by patrons, and floor show. Your name and address for the record, please, sir.
Good afternoon, Chairman, members of the Commission. My name is Attorney Patrick McDonald. I maintain a law office at 479 Eastern Avenue in Malden, and I've been asked to appear today on behalf of the petitioner on this license transfer application.
Thank you, Counselor. Can you explain briefly what you'd like to do with this license?
Certainly. The purchaser, Lumina Lounge LLC, is a recently formed Massachusetts limited liability company. The board may be familiar with Mr. Diego Preciado. That's Mr. Omar Preciado, this is Mr. Diego Preciado, and this is Mr. Juan Preciado. They were before the board a few months ago relative to the new establishment on Broadway, La Cantina. And the board acted favorably, and my clients certainly appreciate that. They're looking to engage in a new restaurant venture here in the city by purchasing the somewhat iconic establishment formerly known as Sammy's Patio at 63 Revere Beach Boulevard. Their intent is to open up both a eating and dining and entertainment establishment, not all that unlike what Sammy's was for many, many years, but nonetheless different in that their focus is going to be this establishment as a restaurant. They are well-established restaurateurs. They own, of course, La Cantina now on Broadway. As I mentioned to the board at their last hearing, they own another establishment, Pon de Juancho, on Broadway in Chelsea. And they own, in some capacity, when I say they, they're brothers, and they split the ownership up to some extent, and others are individually owned. But the third establishment they've owned now for a very long time is Juanporia on Western Avenue in Lynn. So they're good restaurateurs, they're knowledgeable restaurateurs, and they're successful restaurateurs, and they think they can have a successful venture at the Sammy's Patio location. They're going to do extensive renovations inside. The place needs it from their perspective. They want it to be a very attractive, very beautiful establishment, and they plan to do that. They are purchasing the business from the existing owner and licensee for $200,000, $100,000 of which will be paid in cash, and they're utilizing funds from their other business ventures to pay for that. The other $100,000 of the purchase price will take the form of a promissory note, seller financing for a period of time. They will occupy as leasehold tenants of the property owner. Their lease currently is, the initial term is for 6 years. They also have one option for an additional 6-year term. So again, they're looking to be long-term operators at this new establishment. Their proposed manager is Mr. Omar Preciado. He is currently the manager at La Cantina. He is very experienced. He has experience from previous, as the Juanporia. He's been acting as manager at La Cantina, and I respectfully suggest to the board that he's very knowledgeable and a competent manager. To the extent that The board may be wondering how one individual can be full-time manager at 2 locations. I would say to the board, if that is a concern, that again, these are locations that will be both located within Revere, 5 or 10 minutes away from each other. And anytime, initially, Mr. Omar Preciado will be focusing on Lumina Lounge. It's the new venture that they want to get up and running as well as they can. To the extent that Omar Preciado is not present at La Cantina at any time, one of the Preciado brothers will be there as owner-operators of the establishment. Conversely, to the extent that Omar Preciado is not present at Lumina, but is over at La Cantina, again, you have 2 seasoned restaurateurs, one of whom will always be in a position to act as a backup, basically. So we hope that's acceptable to the board. Again, I referred to Sammy's as a somewhat iconic establishment. I think it is, although some may question, whether.
It's had its ups and downs.
I don't want to speak ill of anything, but they're looking to just a new place, a new way, a true restaurant at that location. They're Colombian. Colombian fare is their forte. This will be an establishment that principally serves Colombian and Latin American food. They're also seeking for it to be an entertainment venue. You see from their entertainment application that they want to have dancing, they want to have television, music, DJ. They want it to be the kind of place that people want to go to down the beach. And I think their vision for that location is consistent with what the city is looking to have down the beach now. It's no longer the lighthouses and the Sammy patios. It's places like, hopefully places like Lumina Lounge. And again, that's not a criticism of anyone who's operated a business down there before. Although I represent the petitioners, I did not prepare the application and submit it to the commission in order to get today's hearing. But in reviewing the application, something jumped out at me. I relied on Ms. Haney's skill in making sure that everything was in order, but I think one thing was missed here, and that is Lumina Lounge is an LLC of which Mr. Diego Preciado is the sole manager and the 100% membership holder. But under Chapter 138, when an LLC is the applicant, you cannot have a majority of LLC managers as non-citizens. Unfortunately, Diego is a non-citizen. And I don't think that was made clear in the application. And perhaps, I see Ms. Haney's hand up. I'm not suggesting you made a mistake, Ms. Haney. I'm simply saying when they referred to Omar Preciado.
I think you should go look at it really quick.
Oh.
Yeah, there might be a slight change.
Again, not being the one who submitted it.
Right, if you look, there is this one and this one.
Yes.
So we have one citizen and one non-citizen, as
Right.
long as you have 50%, you're okay.
Except
They're both
Miss-
managers.
he's not a manager of the LLC.
That is not
Whoever
what it says in
prepared
the
this just put again,
No, that's fine.
innocently.
Of course.
Right.
So.
So it's paperwork, you just gotta make some changes on the paperwork.
Yes, but that's going to, rather, it's not just checking off a box. What needs to be done at this point is filings will need to be made with the Secretary of State's office, appointing a second manager who is a U.S. citizen, and then they're under the 50% threshold. So I don't believe, and I'll defer to the board about how they want to handle it. I can represent to the board that can be done, it will be done, and it will be done very quickly. But it can't be done right this moment. It's going to have to be at some point after this hearing today.
Well, we've granted licenses on contingent on, other things happening. So, I mean, if that's the only holdup, I don't think that'll be an issue.
It's the only thing that I was able to pick up by going through the actual application literally within the last hour. But I wanted to flag it for the board because I know even if it got through here, it's going to pop up at ABCC anyway. So with that in mind, I also have, I don't know if a copy of the menu was submitted to the commission with the package. We have one if the commission would like to see it. I like to give a menu whenever seeking a restaurant license so that the permit granting authority can be comfortable that they're granting a restaurant license as opposed to a barroom license.
Well, that's, yeah, I think that is one of my main concerns, so I would have.
Well, I'll tell you, I've been to La Cantina. You guys run a great place. It's a great atmosphere. You've done a great job with that spot. So
My
if you,
clients have also provided me with some lovely kind of brochures related to the restaurant. Again, it's defer to the board if they'd like to see these. But I think the board is also familiar with what their vision for what's down there is. But leave these here, if any board members looking to.
thank you.
So is the intent truly to be a restaurant, or is it a lounge? Because obviously the true intent is, you said a true restaurant, but it sounds like it's more so geared towards a lounge, entertainment type
Well,
establishment.
I think it's probably both at this point. I mean, their menu is a full menu. It's a full dine-in establishment. It's not a place where you go and get some toaster oven pizza and a bag of chips and call yourself a restaurant. It's a restaurant that will offer an extensive and expansive entertainment aspect. So and again, there's no lounge license available under Chapter 138. You're either a restaurant license or you're not. So they are a restaurant. They're making extensive renovations. As the chairman noted, they're restaurateurs, they're good cooks, they sell good food, and people like what they make and sell. So I just don't want to mischaracterize the nature of the business, and I always want to make sure that when applying for a restaurant license, you can credibly call yourself a restaurant by having full dine-in, full service dine-in and a good menu.
And what the kitchen gonna be open until what time typically?
They're going to keep their kitchen
Gonna
open
serve food right through the night?
right through the end of the night, yes.
And
Okay.
what was the seating before? I see now you have 120. What was it before?
Was it that much before?
Well, yeah, the occupancy is one thing.
Mr. Preciado thinks it was something like 250. That's not an official number. So it's going to be less seating there now. They're cutting that seating basically in half.
Well, the occupancy was probably up to 250.
Yeah,
Seating's
probably,
usually
yes.
different.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, well, thank you for the presentation. Do my fellow commissioners have any other questions?
So when are you guys looking to open, or what is an aim date?
They estimate about 60 days to accomplish the interior renovation work, and assuming a grant at this level followed by an approval at ABCC, that's not unlike the time frame they're looking at to get their final approval out of ABCC anyway. So if the board is so inclined to grant, we think that by the time ABCC comes back with it, they'll be close to opening, if not, ready to go at that point.
Okay, well, do you have any questions?
Not at this time.
Very good. Thank you very much, gentlemen. I'm going to close this part of the hearing. Are there any proponents? Is anybody that would like to speak on behalf? Yes, Counselor.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chairman, Commissioners. I know the board, that the commission always likes to have the license holder who is the transferor. For the record, my name's James Cipolletta. I'm 5 Fremont Street in Winthrop, and I represent Boulevard Cafe Corporation, owners of the iconic Sammy's Patio. And Sammy is still, he's out of town, still not back to Massachusetts. And he asked me to appear on behalf of the corporation in case the commission had any questions. I've looked at the paperwork with regard to the seller financing and all of that. Everything seems to be in order. All of the filings and the certificates that are required have been obtained. And if the commission needs anything from us, I'm here.
Thank you very
Thanks,
much,
sir.
Counselor. Appreciate it. Are there any other proponents? Anybody like to speak on behalf of the issuing of this all-restaurant license? I don't see or hear anybody. Close that section. Is anybody opposed? Anybody opposed to the issuing of the license? You don't see or hear anybody? We'll close that section. Do you have any discussion that you want to make on this, or?
No, I'd move to approve it. I'm confident that this family does some great things in the city, and judging from the experience, I can hope that they can continue to do good work here. So I'd move to approve the application as written.
I'm going to second that too. I can't wait to see what it looks like.
Contingent on
Contingent on the proper
the amendment of the corporation status.
filing of the paperwork.
Yes, as long as the paperwork for the LLC is squared away, I wouldn't have any problem approving it. So, based on that, we're going to approve this application for a transfer of an all alcohol restaurant license. The application of Lumina Lounge, 63 Revere Beach Boulevard, is approved. The requested hours are Sunday, 11 a.m. until 2 a.m., Monday through Saturday, 8 a.m. to 2 a.m. The requested seating is 120. The requested entertainment is widescreen cable TV, radio, DJ, jukebox, amplifiers, karaoke, vocal and instrumental music, dancing by patrons, and floor show. Good luck, gentlemen.
Congratulations.
Item number 5. Enbold Restaurant Consulting Corporation, DBA L. Zarzal, sorry about that. 653 Broadway, Units 1 and 2. Diego Orsono Patino is the president. This is an application for a wine, malt, cordial liquors restaurant license. The application of Urban Enbold Restaurant Consulting Corporation to be exercised at 653 Broadway, Units 1 and 2. The requested hours are Sunday through Saturday, 8 a.m. to 11 p.m. The requested seating is 34 inside, 20 outside. The requested entertainment is widescreen cable TV, radio, and vocal and instrumental music. Is there someone here from, your name and address for the record, please?
Yes, thank you. Good afternoon. Kristen Scanlon, attorney representing the applicant. Address is 112 Water Street, Suite 201, Boston 02109. To my right is owner Diego Osorno, and to my left is the proposed manager of record, Demelsa Diaz, who happens to be Diego's sister-in-law as well. Diego also has a business partner, Orlando Gomez, who is not with us today. Just by way of brief background, as far as the manager of record is concerned, Demelsa is a Saugus resident, a U.S. citizen. She's familiar with the rules and regulations of the board and the ABCC as it relates to the service and sale of alcohol, and has experience in the industry as well. Similarly, by way of background, Diego has been in the restaurant industry for over 25 years, holding various positions in and around Boston at many well-respected and reputable restaurants, working as general manager and in various positions in the kitchen as sous chef, executive chef. Currently, he is at Paramount Diner in South Boston, along with Orlando, where he's been since 2017 as the general manager and executive chef there. The concept that is being presented to you this afternoon for the request for the wine and malt beverages and cordials license, in addition to a CV and entertainment license, is for an American restaurant serving modern cuisine. The menu is a scratch menu. Anything from sandwiches, salads, different entrees, which could include fajitas, steaks, a bolognese, lobster ravioli, in addition to various tapas and appetizer items, which include ceviche, vegetarian options, seafood, and tacos. They also serve, or would serve, breakfast daily, which would include eggs, omelets, pancakes, waffles, French toast, and the like. So their proposed hours of operation are daily 8 a.m. to 11 p.m., serving breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And it's really a model that they know very well. I don't know if you're familiar at all with the Paramount Diner, either in Beacon Hill or South Boston, but they do a similar type service where they're serving all meals throughout the day, both with liquor licenses. And the model really works for them, as does the varied offerings on the menu, due to the fact that they're able to prepare all the items from scratch. The restaurant itself at this location at 653 Broadway is pretty small in size. It's only about 1,300 square feet with a proposed seating for 34 and likely a finalized occupancy of around 44, with proposed seating on an outdoor patio as well for 20. They would eventually like to make that kind of an all-season patio, but I think for the time being it would be seasonal. As far as public need is concerned regarding this application, because it is an application for a new license, we believe and have knowledge that there's availability of the license, so that's kind of an easy one to start, but also the availability of the space. This particular space used to be a liquor store that I believe moved either at the end of 2023 or the beginning of 2024, so it's been vacant throughout the past year plus. Diego and his partner Orlando signed the lease back in May of 2024 to prepare for this restaurant space. At this particular location, there really aren't a lot of restaurant options to be had. There is, I think, a nearby Italian restaurant, but other than that, there's not a lot of food destinations around there. Similarly, if you look at a map and kind of expand from that area, their offering is pretty unique to Revere in and of itself due to the wide variety of American cuisine that they'll offer for all different meal services throughout the day versus several other restaurants in Revere that serve Italian or Tex-Mex, maybe seafood-focused pasta, Thai. So really nothing of the like in Revere, so they're excited to bring a unique concept to the city. Certainly would be a family-oriented space. There's no bar in the space, so the goal really is food-focused and a relaxed, family-friendly dining atmosphere. Additionally, the menu is definitely in an affordable price range. There's nothing over $28. Most items range anywhere from $10 to $28, and the higher dollar items are focused on those dinner entrees that you would see on the menu. Once they get open and operating, they will likely hire upwards of 23 people in the restaurant, including 10 servers, 10 cooks and people in the kitchen, and 3 dishwashers, so definitely bringing jobs to the area. And hopefully after what we've presented as far as their experience is concerned, character and fitness isn't in question. As far as the entertainment license is concerned, they're only seeking to have background music, 1 TV, and perhaps an occasional instrumentalist and vocalist for Saturday or Sunday brunch. Their anticipated opening is hopefully as soon as possible. They are running into a little bit of issues with the gas connection and plumbing. They need a little bit of a gas upgrade and need to finalize some plumbing issues. But if the board is so inclined to grant the food and alcohol license in addition to the entertainment license, they would be interested in just getting open when they can with the food license while the alcohol license is pending with the ABCC. That being said, happen to answer any questions or concerns you might have.
Very good. Thank you very much, Counselor. Now, this is the old Geo Liquors spot. Is that what we're talking about? And are you going around to the front where the car place, the key lock place?
The car place is on the other side. My place is on the other side.
Okay, so the car place is going to stay there?
Yeah, I stay there. Yes.
Okay. Do you have any questions for these folks?
I may have some questions after the gentleman. Not yet. We'll call you. I'm just going to reserve my questions.
I'm good.
Okay, I think we understand what your proposal is, and we'll close this part of the hearing. Thank you.
Thank you.
Are there any proponents? Anybody else like to speak on behalf of the issuing of this license? We don't see or hear anybody. Are there any opponents? Is there anybody opposed to this license?
I don't know, I received a
Come on up to the podium, sir. Your name and address for the record.
Hi, my name is Oscar Arevalo. I live on the 219 School Street.
Okay.
From the restaurant where they're gonna be open.
Yes.
I don't, like I say, I don't worry about they're gonna put the restaurant in there, it's okay. But only concern about the big noise gonna be in there. They talk about they're gonna be instruments in there. And then about the trash too, where they're gonna go, because they have a bunch of baggies over there, like barrels, and the street. And every time it's windy, those barrels tip over, and all the trash coming right to my house. It's like a corner over there. And That's what I'm concerned on it, the noise, because I have a tenants in there too.
Okay. Well, they're gonna be open from 8 AM to 11 PM. Do you have a problem with that?
I think that it's because people's working and big noise can stop at least 9 o'clock is possible. I think so, because after 9 o'clock, I think people want to go sleep and rest.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
And they're not, and I think as far as the trash goes, are you gonna have your dumpster, or are you gonna have?
The trash is not for me, the trash is for the building. The trash, my trash, is going to be like in the container, that trash for
Yeah.
the building.
Yeah.
The building, that's no mine. Even, even right now, I don't have any trash because the restaurant is not open. Yeah, I'm going to have like a little space, a little house in the parking garage in the back.
Speaking to the mic, sir. You said to speak to the mic.
Come on.
Yeah, my garbage is going to be like they have a little space, like a parking space in the back. I'm going to put in like a little house there. My garbage is going to be there. That picture is not for me. That picture.
Yes,
for the
I
building.
understand, you're not open, you're not there yet, I
I
get
don't have
that.
anything there.
Okay, that's what about.
So you understand what his concerns are. His concerns are, as an abutter, that he's concerned about noise after 9 o'clock, and he's concerned about the trash.
No, the trash is no.
And as long as if he addresses those,
Right.
you'll be
I'll
fine.
be fine, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, well, thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.
Are there any other opponents? Anybody else opposed? We don't see or hear anybody, we'll close that section. Do you have any questions
I
for
do.
these folks?
So,
Counselor?
on your application, Counsel, on behalf of your clients, it notes that he plans to have vocal and instrumental music, which I think is part of their concern. Is like, what exactly is he looking to do, like live bands?
No, so it'd be limited to, and you can correct me if I'm wrong after I say this, but we have talked about this, would be limited to probably one instrumentalist and/or vocalist, more of an acoustic style entertainment centered around brunch, maybe jazz vocalist.
Especially in the day.
Yeah.
Especially in the day for brunch time. It's between maybe 11, maybe to 3 o'clock. We're not talking about in the dinner time.
Right.
Especially to push the brunch side. Dinner side is okay. It's just the brunch in the day.
And again, I think to further allay any concerns about late night noise, because this isn't, a bar environment, it's focused on the food items in there. It is a pretty small area as far as seating is concerned. Realistically, maybe they might not even stay open until 11, but they'd like the opportunity to be able to serve a little bit later. Of course, it'll be based on, who's coming in. It makes no sense, to keep people and their staff if they're not having the customers come in to eat later. So I don't think they really expect to have much of an impact at all as far as noise is concerned in the restaurant, above and beyond a conversational level speaking, and which you'd be able to do without having to shout, because they plan to play their background music as well at or below conversation level too.
So that's all right.
Okay, any other concerns or questions?
I'm good.
I don't have any. You understand that there are abutters. It is very, very close to a lot of residences, so that if you do have noise, we'll be back here, and we'll be,
I did actually
Taking
just
steps.
suggest to Diego while we were listening to Oscar, I believe, to obviously introduce himself after this hearing and exchange phone numbers, because I think if your
Yes.
neighbors can have the owner's phone number, and if there is an issue with trash, even if it's not his in the building, and he can let the landlord know, or with noise, that the owner and owners can be on notice immediately and rectify the situation.
very good. Thank you very much, Counselor. I think we have satisfied the questions. Is there anybody that would like to make a motion on this?
I'd move to approve the application.
And I'll second that.
Very good. The application for a wine, malt, cordial liquors restaurant license for Urban Enbold Restaurant Consulting Corporation, DBA El Zarzal, is approved. The application will be exercised at 653 Broadway, Units 1 and 2. The requested hours are Sunday through Saturday, 8 a.m. to 11 p.m. The requested seating is 34 inside and 20 outside. The The requested entertainment is widescreen cable TV, radio, and vocal instrumental music. And that license is approved.
Thank
you
you.
very much.
Thank you.
Stuart, you get numbers from them, and then if there are issues, you can talk with them. You're welcome. Thank you, sir. Item number 6, Perros Payases Revere Corp., DBA Perros Payases.
I thought we were already on the hearings. I like calling it BK.
At 657 Revere Beach, Beach Street. Andres Yamarillo is the manager. This is an application for a wine, malt, cordial liquors restaurant license. The application will be exercised at 657 Beach Street in an existing restaurant. The requested hours are Sunday, 10 a.m. to 11 p.m., Monday through Thursday, 8 a.m. to 11 p.m., Friday, Saturday, 8 a.m. to 2 a.m. The requested seating is 25. Name and address for the record, please, sir.
Mi nombre es Andrés Jaramillo. La dirección del local es 657 Beach Street en Riviera.
And what would you like to do with this license?
Básicamente ofrecerle un complemento a los clientes míos, porque yo manejo básicamente comida rápida.
He would like to offer to the customers this type of alcohol because he offers fast food.
And is he in business right now? Is he open?
Yes.
And how long have you been open, sir?
Octubre del año pasado.
Since October last year.
And do you have experience serving alcohol?
Sí.
Yes. Yes.
And what was that experience?
Yo tuve un restaurante en East Boston donde tenía una licencia full liquor y ahí tuvimos pues la experiencia con el manejo del licor y el manejo con los clientes.
He used to work at in East Boston restaurant, and he used to have a license and serve alcohol.
Very good. Thank you very much. Any of my fellow commissioners have any questions?
So, I know that this business was closed for a long time, right? You finally just got it open. And I can understand the need to offer, a beer if someone wants to come in and have a hot dog, right? Do you need him to translate? Do you understand?
Él entiende que has tenido el negocio cerrado por mucho tiempo y que lo acabas de abrir y que estás mirando opciones como vender y subir la clientela.
Sí, claro.
Yes.
The requested seating is 25. I guess my concern is, it seems like the place it's more of a fast food takeout type of establishment.
Su preocupación es que entiende que tu negocio es más que todo comida rápida y comida para llevar.
Because I remember when you came before us, right before you opened in October, we specifically expressed concerns about the traffic in the area, because you're in an area where there isn't too much parking.
So, la otra preocupación es que como la área donde estás, el negocio no tiene suficiente parqueo porque es una vía muy transitada.
And you specifically represented to the commission that this is an establishment where people, typically will grab their food and go. So my concern now is that you're attempting to offer malt beverage.
Su preocupación es que como por la área y estar sirviendo alcohol a los clientes.
Which I guess in good ways would encourage people to stay and eat, which also I'm sure would help your business.
Dilo.
A ver, yo tengo dos restaurantes. conservo uno en East Boston que es básicamente para take-up, y es un lugar pequeño, y aquí en Rivier tenemos donde sentar la gente. De hecho, van familias, van grupos de amigos, entonces el espacio lo tenemos.
He said that he has two restaurants, one in East Boston, which is mostly like takeouts, but in here in Revere, it's a place where they can sit. It's a family environment, and yeah.
I'll defer to the commission.
So I'm looking at your application. In what restaurant in East Boston did you have like the prior experience on with dealing with liquor?
¿Cuál fue el restaurante que tú tuviste la experiencia vendiendo licor?
Se llamaba 154 Station, que va ahí sobre la Maverick Street, o sea, prácticamente en toda la estación de Maverick.
¿El restaurante se llama?
Se llamaba porque lo cerré.
Oh, 154?
154 Station.
It used to call 154 Station, so that restaurant closed.
I've been there. It was a good spot. Were you one of the owners?
¿Tú eres el dueño? Yeah, he used to be the owner.
So you closed that business, huh? It was a good place. It's just in a weird location.
Yeah, by by Maverick.
Yeah, like I forget, Merrick in East Boston. It was kind of in the cut. You wouldn't really know it's there unless
Yeah.
you're looking for it.
So
It was
he
nice.
he used to run that business, and that's how he used to.
And they had a full bar and everything. there.
Yep. So that was him.
I'm familiar. I've been there.
Say something, it's my friend.
Sure.
Yeah.
Hi, my name is Abel Moreno. I have 3 restaurants in Riviera. Andres and I, we started with the business maybe 5 years ago with the food trucks. We are, trying to give more for this community of Riviera. I think the liquor license for him is going to really help for the business now.
It's very slow.
It's pretty slow. Their prices is crazy. I don't know. Electricity, everything. So I have a license in 1148 North Shore Road in my taqueria, and it really was helpful for the business. That's why I've been talking with my friend Andres, and really he needs the
Something
license.
to drive traffic.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Mhm. Okay.
I understand.
Any other questions?
What is it, a hot dog with a beer? No, I'm good.
Okay, any other questions?
No, I got to get in there and try it. I got to try the hot dogs.
Very good, we'll close this part of the hearing. Are there any proponents? Anybody else like to speak on behalf of the issuing of this license? We don't see or hear anybody, we'll close that section. Is there anybody opposed? Is there anybody opposed to the issuing of the license? We don't see or hear anybody, we'll close that section.
I can make a motion to approve.
I'd second that motion, and I honestly wish you the best of luck. I know it's hard. The restaurant business is very hard, and I'll see if I can stop in and support you guys. Thank you.
Very good. The application for a wine, malt, cordial liquors restaurant license is approved. The application of Peros Paisas Revere Corp., DBA Peros Paisas. Andres Jamarillo is the manager. The license will be exercised at 657 Beach Street in the existing restaurant. The requested hours are Sunday, 10 a.m. to 11 p.m., Monday through Thursday, 8 a.m. to 11 p.m., Friday and Saturday, 8 a.m. to 2 a.m. The requested seating is 25, and that license is approved. Good luck, sir.
Good luck.
Good luck.
That concludes the applications for consideration. The next items on the agenda are hearings. Item number 7, RK&E Corp., DBA BK's Bar and Grill, 264 Ocean Avenue. Marilyn Symes is the listed manager. This is a hearing into violations including unauthorized transfer of ownership, lack of approved licensed manager. This is a continuation from our August meeting.
Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, good afternoon. James Sippoletter on behalf of RK&E. With me is Bob Kelly, the principal, and been running the establishment after the death of his parents and has been involved in it for about 30 years. So we're here to bring the commission up to date on what's been going on. And I spoke with Attorney Turco, who is handling the probate. The commission may remember that Mr. Kelly's mother passed away, his father had passed away in Florida. There was some jurisdictional and property issues. Things are going forward in Superior Court. Suffolk probate, I'm sorry, I do that all the time. Suffolk probate court, Attorney Turco told me when I just gave him a call to see whether or not they had gotten an approval. They have filed the inventory and all of the rest of the papers with the probate court. He's waiting to get a notice either that it's been approved or to come in and talk about it. So the Florida part of that seems to have been resolved by Florida Council. Everything's been moved up here. The estate now, the last estate, is now being probated in Boston. And I actually have a question for the board because I had spoken to Maggie about this a little bit ago. I'm wondering if there's procedurally, if the commission would be amenable to bifurcating these, because we still want to get Bob to be the manager, but we filed it as one application, and I think, I'm not sure, and it seems to me in the back of my mind, there's probably going to have to be a separate hearing for that, but, or maybe another application, and I defer to my mentor.
She's our mentor too.
Because right now, it's running, but and everything's great, but, when we get to the ABCC, it doesn't want to look, we don't want to look like everything was a mess for the whole time.
The difficulty, if I may, is that they haven't changed the officers with the ABCC yet, so nobody is available to sign for the change manager.
Right, that's right. I changed it with the Secretary of State, but.
Right, but not with the ABCC.
Yeah, the ABCC
So it
doesn't
needs
have
to
them.
be- Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry.
All right, well, try to get one thing accomplished anyway if we
But you're
could.
making progress, it looks like.
Yeah, I mean, I don't do probate, as you probably know.
Stay away-
And,
stay
yeah,
away from probate.
and I don't understand it, so I have to rely on those who get mired down in the bureaucracy of the probate court.
Okay, do you have any questions or concerns?
No, I read the summary put together by council. It's very good. It kind of gives us a good summation of where they are with things. It seems like they just have a few more hurdles to cross, but it seems like you're heading in right direction of things.
Sorry, I forgot one consideration here with you for bifurcating.
Yes,
You're the executor.
yes.
If we put paperwork in as the executor, he can sign for a change of manager.
Oh, good.
It's good.
So it would be possible to do
That's
that.
why she's my mentor.
So let me ask you, so the two issues that's before the commission is that there wasn't a licensed manager on, and there was an unauthorized transfer of ownership, right?
Right.
So, is there a way we can vote today so that they can do this kind of administratively and don't have to come back?
Yeah, sure.
Because it seems, based on the representation, everything for the probate has been filed and they're waiting for final approvals there.
Right, you don't have a full application yet because, given that you're waiting for everything to be processed, it's not that they can't submit it, it's that they're still processing the legal bits. But if you wanted to, I suppose, given that you know what the application is, you can consider it, but maybe if we got a completed application, we could go from there?
Okay, we could do that. I mean, at least we could get a little bit of trajectory here before we get to the ABC.
Yeah, I'd be comfortable with the completed application, and then we could move on that.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
So if you could get that to us, Counselor, we'll take care of it, so.
Yeah, I could. I mean, I don't mind coming back, when we come back.
We'd like to get something done.
Yeah, get off the fence a little bit.
Right.
Okay, well, I'm satisfied that we are on track and doing what we're supposed to be doing. Are you?
I'm good.
Same.
Very good. Thank you very much, gentlemen.
Mr. Chairman, thank you, and Commissioners, appreciate it very much. Thank you, Maggie.
Item number 8, Wonderland Entertainment LLC, DBA Oceanside Event Center, 1290 North Shore Road, Revere. Charles Del Pidio is the manager. This is an inquiry regarding security arrangements. Gentlemen, name and address for the record, please.
Charles Del Pidio, 84 Broadreach, Weymouth, Massachusetts. Taras Rabick, 9 North Bend Street, Lynn, Mass.
Thank you very much. So you gentlemen had asked for some consideration regarding security arrangements?
Yeah, that was from one of the senior partners in the company. And, but then we had a little incidents. So for me to come here now and say, well, you know, let's do this, I don't know if it's the right way to do this.
I would tend to agree. The other issue that's come up since you have requested that is that we've been getting a lot of complaints regarding the noise situation there, particularly from the people at 500 Ocean Avenue, which abuts the parking lot. And well, you live there. Do you want
I
to
do.
characterize the?
It's these aren't recent complaints. I believe that when, I'm not sure, I don't think I remember seeing you, maybe your brother or.
Who?
Yeah, it's like a kind of bigger. So anyway, when he came, I remember us expressing concerns that when folks are leaving your establishment after these large events that you have, there's an exorbitant amount of noise in the parking lot. Cars honking, people playing music, and it just didn't seem like there was a police presence outside or even a security presence outside. And it seems like that issue is just ongoing.
There is security outside, and we have police details for every single event we have.
Outside as well?
Well, they're inside, and then they go outside at the end of the night.
Right. So
But
it
the
seems-
idea of adding more police details.
Well, that's not where I was going, because it didn't seem like, first of all, I think at one point, there wasn't any police detail outside. In fact, I think one of your partners represented that when they attempted to get someone over to the parking lot, they said they didn't have enough officers on staff to send one over. So I believe he represented that there was an issue getting a detail officer to your establishment to monitor the parking lot.
That was the MBTA. That was not the Revere Police Department.
So it's still an issue. I mean, I'm looking at an email here from the manager, the on-site manager at 500 Ocean, saying that she's getting an abundance of complaints. And speak just from my own personal experience, who, you know, I've lived at Revere Beach for going on four and a half years now, and my apartment immediately was literally behind the parking lot, or right next to the parking lot. And I've sent Maggie countless videos of literally people just laying on the horn, obviously either trying to get out or the music blasting. And I recognize that there's only so much in your control, right? But I do believe that if there is something within your control, it's how you're letting either people out of the event or managing the flow out of the parking lot. There has to be something that you can do. And I don't know if it should fall 100% on Revere PD or the city officials to do that. You guys put on really big events, and I'm glad that you guys are busy and seems to be thriving to a degree. But I think that there's a responsibility that comes with that as well, to ensure that, you know, people are exiting your establishment in an orderly fashion. I mean, laying on the horn, I mean, these aren't just like, you know, people just ain't got nothing to do at 2 o'clock in the morning but complain. I mean, it's a real issue. And that issue, I mean, that complaint is reinforced by this manager from 500 Ocean, who's saying that she's, you know, not only are the residents at 500 Ocean is complaining, but people are in fact leaving the building because the noise is so bad. So my question to you is, what are the plans? What do you guys plan to do in light of these complaints?
I have signage. We've had this actually for, you know, the last 6 months, posted on every exit, entryway, both in English and in Spanish. I can show the
Okay,
photo
let's
that
see.
I made. You can see it. No, on the way out, yeah. So also, as they're exiting, we also have the security personnel, let them know on the way out, please, we have neighbors, keep it down. Obviously, you have 1,000 people in the parking lot, it's very difficult to keep everybody quiet. We do our best, and obviously, we'll do more sweeping in the parking lot with security on the way out. As far as the Revere Police Detail, they're inside until everybody is outside. Then they're able to go out and help out.
But when you say like you have 1,000 people exiting, I mean, in the parking lot at one time, isn't there some type of measures you can put in place to manage the flow of people exiting all at once where it creates this huge congestion in the parking lot? You have one exit going out of that place.
No, there's
No,
actually,
no.
it's like
The
four.
parking lot.
four-
The parking
Oh,
lot.
the
Right,
parking
yes,
lot,
yes.
yes.
So when you
There was
have,
only one.
when you have 1,000 people, and then you got some people parking on this end of the parking lot, and then they're all trying to converge into this one exit.
Sure.
I wouldn't say that there's 1,000 people there because we have the other parking garage. And, a lot of people park up there also. I don't know, really. It's a matter of just having more of our guys outside and try to move people along. It's never gonna be perfect. And right now, with the cold weather, it should be a lot better right now. There shouldn't be that many complaints. It's usually, and I spoke with you before, Commissioner, about the summertime. The summertime is a tough time. But we have to move the people along.
Do you have, is there an officer or a security person that's pulling the cars out? How is that light, what's that light situation?
Over
If
here.
if there's a Revere police officer working the parking lot, they'll bring the cruiser and put the lights on and, ask people to start moving.
There's nothing better than having a cruiser with the lights blinking to make people move and for people to behave themselves a little better. We have a place in Boston, and it's the same thing there at Royale. When they leave, we have a cruiser out front, and that moves people along. People are, if we look back at our memory banks, we're all the same, they're just not ready to go home, but they have to go home. I mean, we're not there to make these neighbors unhappy. Not at all. We don't want that. We've been there a long time. We were there long before any one of those buildings was even there. All of a sudden, we're the ones that are getting this. And I understand, there's two sides to every coin. But you're right, maybe I can sit down with our Revere PD and see if we can put a little better plan together and see if we can make things move a little better.
I mean, it seems to me the key would be pulling cars out of that lot as fast as you can, so that there isn't that bottleneck and people aren't laying on their horn or waiting for the bulk of it to leave, like they're tailgating, waiting for the lot to empty.
Yeah, there's about 4 exits that people leave at that time. So it's not that we just take everybody and push them out the door as fast as we can. That is not what we do. I like to gravity feed and let people kind of go out on their own. And sometimes we'll just put the music on and when the show is over, and then people just kind of go on their own.
A lot of the times, if I may.
Go ahead.
A lot of the times when we have a concert, the artist will go off, and then for extra 5-10 minutes, we still have that time for music. A lot of people are starting to leave already.
Right when
So
the
it
lights
kind of starts the flow. And then, after the music's over, then everybody has to.
I don't know how this relates in terms of like, the fire code, et cetera, because obviously you have to have a certain number of exits, and when you have the amount of people that you guys typically have in your establishment, I'm not sure, I have to look in that, but it seems to me that, reducing the amount of exit points to kind of have people flowing in one direction, you know, would limit the mass amount of people, you know, flooding the parking lot at once. Again, I'm not speaking with any basis of knowledge in terms of the fire code, et cetera. That may not even be something that you're allowed to do. But just as a suggestion, because again, I would hate, you guys have been, your establishment has been before this commission a couple times at this point regarding, you know, little issues here and there. And the details there, I know you guys are spending a lot of money on having the detail. You know, I just would hate for it to get to a point where your business hours are affected or your operation is affected by this commission if this doesn't get addressed. I think there is a solution to the problem. Like you said, it may require you sitting down with the heads at Revere PD and your head of security and devising a real plan to address the issues. Not only seems to be inside of the place sometimes with security, but also on the outside as well.
You know, I know what you're talking about. We had one incident that we had, I think, three arrests.
3 arrests, yeah.
And you know what? I'm going to tell you the truth. I didn't want that concert. One of the owner's grandson, he said, Chuck, just do it for him. I said, I don't want it. Because
I think it was a
I've been in
reggae
front of
artist or
this
something.
board, and I know what you guys want. And when we're in there working, if you don't think that you're kind of our partner, you certainly are. Because if we don't do the right thing inside, here we are in front of you. So the board is very important to us, and we want to do the best we can. Is it always going to be perfect? And the answer is no. Absolutely not. But we have to keep on trying when we have an issue and try to resolve this. Will it ever be resolved? I can't answer that. But we have to continue and try.
I feel that this is a good time to address this issue. I mean, you said summertime gets busier, right? And I see, you know.
No, summertime, you know what it is? Summertimes that people, when they go outside now, they're freezing. They want to get in their cars and they want to go.
But still, like, I see reports from October, November.
Well, those are decent times. I mean, the freezing cold now. But again, the problem here is that when we first had it, there was no houses. And all of a sudden, there are houses. So, but it doesn't mean that we can just say, hey, too bad, you know, we were here first and you're second. That's not what we're trying to do. And you know what? We're not wise guys. We're just guys trying to make a living down there. And we bring in a lot of great talent. The people of Revere absolutely love this place. And you know what? We try to do the very best we can. We have an issue here, let's work on it, let's see if we can come up with something a little better. Will I be back up here in front of you? I don't know, possibly. But I will say this, we will see what we can do to make this better.
Well, we'd appreciate that. The other issue is that the manager of 500 has indicated that she's reached out to you a couple times.
Not to me.
Not to me.
To have reached out to Congress Room directly and have not received a response.
Congress Room?
Congas.
Maybe to a promoter, but not.
No, not to
To
one.
the management.
I am the general manager. Taras is the manager. And I got to tell you something, guys. A lot of you know me a little bit. When I first went there, it really was not the same place it is today. We've cleaned up that place immaculately, and we've done a great job there with staff, with people, and we really try to do a good job there. We really do.
No, I've seen improvement in the place since you've had it. I mean, I remember the old days of the Wonderland Ballroom. It was quite a spectacle.
Yeah, that's why my brother said, Chuck, you got to get over there. You got to change the look. You got to change everything over there, and we did that. But will everything be perfect? Again, I'll say no.
Well, as I'm sure you're aware, I mean, being responsive to the neighbors is part of the
Sure.
situation. So, if
I've never spoken to one neighbor.
okay,
Never.
Well, she's indicated that she has tried to reach out and has not received a response.
To the manager, maybe
It's
somebody
probably a
else.
promoter.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, well, I guess the way we'll leave this is we're gonna try to do better.
Yes.
I mean, I don't think, unless you want to sanction something, or do you want to put something in place? I mean, I'd take these gentlemen at their word that
Same.
they're gonna try and do the best they can do, and if we end up back here, and then we have to do something.
Well, if we come back here, you know, we'll definitely have a plan different than today. So we'll try to have something, you
Well, if
know,
you come back here, that means there's an issue, so hopefully,
Is there,
hopefully there won't be an issue, so we
Well,
won't see you again.
you
is
know,
there any way that we could, like, not, like, know what your plan would be?
If you can send it to Maggie once you guys figure that out.
I can do that, I can do that.
That
We can
way,
send
you
something
know,
over
we'll
to
feel
Maggie.
better
Yeah.
knowing what the plan is.
You know, it's like a chess game, you know? How are we gonna get these people out here? Who we gonna put here? It's a game like this. And when there's a lot of people, there's not much you can do. And you know what? When you think about all the other bars in the area, they're doing hundreds of people. We're doing thousands of people. And the amount of problems that we have with thousands of people, in my word, is this much. I think the biggest problem we have is a little bit of noise here.
That seems to be it. I mean, there've been a few issues, but generally speaking, it seems as if the on-site security with the police are able to tamp all that stuff down. It's the exterior noise that seems to be the issue in clearing the parking lot.
Yeah, you're right.
If you guys can work on that, we probably,
I'll
can
say this.
coexist.
We will do our best.
all right, well, we will table this for now.
And Maggie, I'll send something over to you, dear. All right?
Thank you very much,
Thanks for
gentlemen.
coming in.
All right, guys. Bye-bye.
That concludes the hearings. The next items on the agenda are communications. There is one communication from the Massachusetts Alcoholic Beverage Control Commission, an advisory regarding changes to the forms of identifications which licensees may reasonably rely on for alcoholic beverage purchases, and we went over that earlier. We did. The next items are license renewals, and there's a fairly significant list which can be viewed on the website. The licenses for common victular, Class II motor vehicle dealer, in-holder hotel, parking lot, are all on the website. And so if anybody has any questions about which licenses are renewed, that's where you can find them. And I think that concludes today's agenda.
February 19th.
I would make a motion to adjourn until February 19th.
I'd second that motion.
The motion is approved. Thank you very much.